So I made some comments on YouTube on a channel recently that was talking about, uh, specifically it was Doug In Exile. He's a pretty good guy. Uh, I have some close friends that were gigantic fans of his stuff. I never personally got into it, but it was just because of my age and the time at the time. And the friends that I had that were I should say one friend that was into it. Uh, he was into video games. Well, I'm assuming until today, stuff like that. Retro stuff. And I always loved watching him play video games. It was a lot more fun watching him play video games than trying to play them myself. But anyway, uh, yeah. So there was some video he made recently that at the beginning, I was gonna pop it into my truth queue, but then, there was a bunch of stuff that he said that is stuff that I am not, uh, I don't agree with. I know it's wrong. It's not like wrong, like a sin type wrong. It's a wrong as in, the world culture is on uh it's not even a path. It's running around in a circle. And the things that he and many others believe are true, and these are intelligent people who get into a lot of decent philosophy, and I don't mean like, philosophy in itself is a thing that's decent. I mean, you know, uh, in order to try to understand certain topics that are important for society, they got into certain philosophers that talked in depth about those things. And usually philosophers build off of other philosophers and other philosophers and other philosophies. And, it's almost like a, a, a history. It's like a religion. The structure of it, is exactly what a religion is too. So, it's a history of a people and their understanding of things in a world where God exists. Not all of them uh, are correct about God and God's nature, to say the least. Like almost every single one of them is wrong. But that's the dynamic. That's the culture and social structure and consensus people form. So, one of the things that he mentioned was rule of law, that in itself is like an ism and an ist. It's something that people use to excuse bad decisions. And there's a lot of people who believe that in order to make things work right in society, you have to make a law to either outlaw things or give people permission for things, depending on how the government is designed. But there's too much of that going on, and in the end, it's a lot of people not minding their own business and trying to control others. So, instead of relying on what a republic is, the foundation of what a real religion is, where people can actually rely on what God is and their relationship with God, their relationship with their family, their relationship with their community, and human ability cannot go beyond that, which is why everything is real screwed up. There's a whole lot of things in society that we're going beyond what humans can actually do, screwing a lot of things up. So, the rule of law is one of those things. It's like we all know laws help keep things. I don't even know how to describe it. Safer. Rules keep things safer. And just in the foundations of the nature of God, the Book of Moses, the Torah, and the things we learn through life, just from personal experience, understanding the need for rules makes sense. And most of the time, we can train ourselves, so to speak. Mostly it's just going along with what our nature is, anyways. But we can train ourselves to make it so that obeying the laws that are rational are very easy, But we have a culture of ultras, it's like speed using or adrenaline using, uh, uh, ultra human maxers. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but they have a completely different philosophy from nature. They believe in superiority. They believe in the use and exploitation of what is inferior. Uh, they believe in the hierarchy of the strong over the weak. It has absolutely nothing to do with the hierarchy of God, the Father, the family, or I should say, the God, the Father, the Mother, the family, and the community. You know, so it's just the strongest. And the strongest is the one that wins the never ending battles in that culture. It's an extremist culture. So, and it dominates New York. It dominates Manhattan and Long Island and all that area. It's like when people like me said, communism, and when I say communism, I don't mean, and this is the other issue with the video, the foundation of communism is not Marxism. It's like the foundation of Marxism is communism. And it's like communism as a philosophy originally was communal. It was literally like a godless version of a republic. So it's like in a republic you have God, and then you have the father of the household and the mother, and then the family, and then the community. And in communism, the God part's not there. And I don't even know if there's any other difference, because the way everybody works together, independent of a higher government, because in a republic, a higher government doesn't do anything, to use those communities. Everybody it's the exact same structure. It's the exact same structure. It's just the ist people, the ist and the ism people. The capitalists are the ones that are the communists that run communism to teach everybody a lesson. And it's like you got all these more very intelligent people on YouTube that are, anti-communist, except they're the ones that make the communism the way it is in order to teach everybody a lesson on how bad communism is, when in reality it's like people aren't pro-communism, they're just anti-capitalist, because capitalists are psychopaths. It's like communists weren't the ones that did COVID. Communists aren't the ones doing the vaccines. Communists aren't the ones making money off everything. It's like China's barely communist. They're I don't even know how to describe it. They're exactly like Iran, except without the facade of a fake religion on top of it, because that's exactly what it is. Just like what's going on in the United States with this, I don't mean Trump, but I mean everybody else. This jumping on all the religious bandwagons to be on the right side. I'm telling you, God knows. If I can tell and I can warn you about the consequences, and that God knows. It's like, as far as I see, everything is going exactly the way it's been going, and nothing's changing. The good guys are being protected, and everyone else God has other plans for. You know, maybe Trump can save everybody, but that's not really what his job is. He's doing his job as best as he can. Everybody else, that's where the problem is. Everybody else, the ones pretending to be on Trump's side, the ones pretending to be on religion's side, except they're just neocons. It's exactly the same shit that was going on during the Bush years. It's the neocon shit. When all the religions started working together, and by all the religions I mean all the atheistic sex cults that pretend they're religious, got together and came up with their rational, logical solution to things. And now you're all pretending like you don't agree with it, like it's a rogue thing, except you keep saying things that make it sound like you have no problem with what that was. Because you speak in words and ideas that say that's what you're hoping will happen again, is a restart of what Bush started, what everyone started back then. It's like, putting a finger on Obama. It's like, dude, this is a group effort. There's a lot of people. I used to agree with them. I mean, not everything. I mean, once 9/11 happened, that was it for me. And then when I found out that Obama was a liar and he was just another neocon, that was it for me. But everybody else is like fucking brain deads, dragging their feet in the mud, retarded. What can I say? It's irritating how much sacrifices had to be made to try to save everybody, and everybody's fighting against it, defending themselves against from the truth and from being saved, because they've all done dumb shit, and they want to make sure whoever's pointing the finger, like me, I guess, that if whatever it is that I hate, I must not be guilty of. And it's like, those aren't the conversations that are happening. Those are the only conversations everybody else will have, because that's the level you guys are on. It's like, I give you everything that you need, and then you cancel my accounts and delete all my information. Why should I bother? Everybody I've tried to save is gone. The people that I have been able to save are saved. And then there's the rest, the morons. What do I have to gain? I'm not getting paid for this shit. I'm almost homeless. I work part-time. Kiss my ass. Go to hell, you dumbasses. Seriously. I know there's no hell or any of that shit, but it's like, figures of speech. I'd say harsher things, but, I want to be able to put this on YouTube. So, get screwed. I know you'll enjoy that, but, gotta make the most of your apocalypse, because those are the futures you're writing. You're not writing any other future. Not for the Western Hemisphere. The deck was stacked 5 years ago at least. You're too late and you can't catch up. You're too stupid. So, good luck.